Samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Seelavanta uso kottita bhikkhuna panchupadana kanda aniccato dukkhato rogato gandato sallato agato abadato parato palokato sunyato anattato yoniso manasika tabbati. Dear Venerable Sisters, Dhamma friends, so as you know, as a tradition, we are making a Dhamma talk in each day of the retreat. So this in a way is according to the Buddha's teaching. So in a particular sutta called Anuggahita Sutta, Buddha tells that the meditation that we undertake has to be supported in 5 ways. Seelanuggahita, Sutta Anuggahita, Sakacca Anuggahita, Samatha Anuggahita and Vipassana Anuggahita. So basically what it says, Sila Anuggahita means that we need to first establish very well in morality. So we have to have at least honestly taken the precepts. So we have to have a honest undertaking of the precepts. So that is the Sila Anuggahita. So you all have dedicated yourselves, and unlike the typical ordinary day-to-day life, now you have taken 8 precepts and you have made some kind of a dedication towards the Dhamma. So you yourself have given some emphasis to this morality. So that is the Sila Anuggahita. And then Sakacca Anuggahita, that the problems that you are facing in your meditation, and if you have any doubts regarding the practice, and those have to be clarified through a discussion. So today also we have done almost more than 1 hour. We were discussing various matters, some related to your practice, some related to the Dhamma. So likewise, so we were able to clarify certain amount of doubts, and we get some idea about what we are doing. So that is called Sakacca Anuggahita. And then we have Samatha Anuggahita, that tranquility meditation side, that we are doing some amount of concentration as well. So we are trying to subside defilements, subside hindrances, and then we are doing some amount of tranquility meditation. And again, Vipassana Anuggahita, that is the most important. So we do go through the wisdom meditation, wisdom aspect of the meditation, and we are trying to develop our panya, the wisdom. The third point which I purposely left is the Sutta Anuggahita. That is where we are trying to do now. That is to give a brief idea about the Dhamma, about the practice, and trying to figure out that how our practice exactly matches with the Buddha's teaching. So taking various suttas and giving you enough details so that you are confident of what we are doing. So it is not something that we are blindly following for the sake of doing it. Rather, we are following what Buddha has taught, and therefore we are getting encouraged and we get confident that what we do is according to the Buddha's teaching. It is directly according to the Buddha's teaching. So that is what we are trying to do now. So it is called Sutta Anuggahita. So we give some kind of theoretical background, we give some kind of theoretical knowledge, so that we are confident about our practice theoretically as well. So in this series of retreats, what we are conducting in Kalalgoda Meditation Center, most respected Dhammajiva Bhante has taken Seelavanta Sutta as the theme, as the topic. So this sutta you can find in Kanda Sangyutta, in Sangyutta Nikaya. Actually, it is a very interesting dialogue happened between Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Kottita. So as you may know, Venerable Sariputta is the chief disciple of the Buddha. And Venerable Kottita is again one of the main disciples of the Buddha. So they are not typical human beings. They are actually arahants. And this sutta actually occurred while they were living at Varanasi, Migadaya. That is, as you know, that where Buddha actually preached Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta for the 5 ascetics, 5 monks, the very first monks in this Buddha Sasana. At the same place, Isipatana Migadaya, these 2 venerable monks, these 2 great arahants, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahakottita, were staying at that time. So at one evening, so Venerable Mahakottita, after his emerging from his seclusion, he approached Venerable Sariputta and he raised a question. He's asking, Seelavanta Sariputta Bhikkhuna Katame Dhamma Yoniso Manasika Tabbati. So he simply asked, so when a monk or whoever, the follower of the Buddha, once he or she established himself or herself in morality, what next he has to do? So this is a kind of a valid question that one may has to ask. So in a way we need to understand it is not for the sake of his own knowledge that he is asking, because Venerable Mahakottita already attained Arahant. But for the people like us who are in the later generations, these kind of questions are quite interesting. And then these dialogues, these discussions are really helpful for ourselves to understand Dhamma. So Venerable Mahakottita therefore asking from Venerable Sariputta, so after oneself established himself in morality, Sila, what next he has to do? The direct answer that Venerable Sariputta gives is what I have taken as the topic of this Dhamma talk. What he says is, Seelavanta Kottita Bhikkhuna Panchupadana Khanda Aniccato Dukkhato Rogato Gandato. A series of terms are there. Anattato Yoniso Manasika Tabbati. So there are 11 ways mentioned here. And ultimately it says, in these 11 ways, 5 clinging aggregates, what we call as Panchupadana Khanda in Pali, has to be contemplated, has to be observed. So that is what the answer of Venerable Sariputta. So Venerable Mahakottita does not stop at that question. He further asks, so what happens if one practices like this? So Venerable Mahasariputta explains, so if a worldly person, unattained person, after he himself established in morality, if he practice like this, so there is a possibility he may attain stream entry. That means he can become a Sotapanna. Then Venerable Mahakottita asks another question. So he asks, so if a Sotapanna wants to attain Sakadagami, the next stage, that is the Sakadagami, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arihat, that is how we usually say the progressive stages of the enlightenment. So if a Sotapanna, a stream winner, stream enterer, wants to come to the next stage, so what he has to do? Venerable Mahasariputta gives the same answer. Same exact answer Venerable Mahasariputta gives. And he says, if he practice this Panchupadana Khanda, the 5 clinging aggregates, as Aniccato, Dukkhato, Rogato, Gandato, like this, these ways, then there's a possibility he can become a Sakadagami, once returner. And then Venerable Mahakottita again asks a question. If a once returner, a Sakadagami noble person wants to become an Anagami, non-returner, what he has to do? The same answer is given by Venerable Mahasariputta. Then the next question asked from Venerable Mahakottita, he asked if an anagami wants to become an arahant, fully enlightened being, so what he has to do? The same answer is given. And interesting enough, Venerable Mahakottita asked, an arahant has to do what an arahant has to do. So it's an interesting question in a way, because as we know, arahant is a fully enlightened human being. So what else he has to do? So interesting question Venerable Mahakottita is asking. So Venerable Sariputta bravely tells that he too has to reflect the 5 clinging aggregates as aniccato, dukkhato, that means impermanent, suffering, non-self, like that. He too has to contemplate. So, and he adds, telling, it is not because that he is having some kind of defilement, but for the sake of present abiding in this present life. So, till he pass away, till he attain his final parinibbana, he is living in the ordinary day-to-day life. So while he is living, if he likes to spend time in a pleasant way, according to the Dhamma, practicing Dhamma, enjoying Dhamma, then he has to do the same contemplation. So all these explanation gives us a kind of a confidence. So it is the same thing even a worldly human being has to do if he wants to become a Sotapanna. A Sotapanna wants to do for the higher progressive stages. He too has to do the same thing. So similarly for the other noble persons, if they want to go to their progressive stages, they too have to do the same thing. So we can see it's a kind of a universal answer that Venerable Sariputta is giving. So for us like meditators, so it is quite important to know what is the content in this answer, because that is, our practice has to be directly agreed with this answer, because that is how the previously, if an arahant or if a noble person has practiced, so that is the path they have taken. So if presently, if someone wants to practice, so this is the direct path he or she has to take. If the future who wants to become a arahanto, who wants to become a sotapanna, who want to practice Dhamma, so he too has to take the same path. So in the past Dhamma talks, we have discussed in detail what is Rupa Upadana Khanda, what is Vedana Upadana Khanda. So basically, during our last month retreat, we have given attention in the first Dhamma talk, giving you some kind of definitions about Rupa, that is the form, and what is the difference between typical form and Rupa Upadana Khanda, the clinging nature of the form. And in the second Dhamma talk of the last month, we explained what is Vedana, feeling, and what's the difference between feeling and the clinging feeling or clinging aggregate of feeling. Vedana Upadana Khanda. So I thought of describing further in the feeling side, in the Vedana Upadana Khanda, how to practice based on that today as well. Because it's a very interesting subject and giving us many information about Dhamma. So there's a kind of a misconception or misbelief, wrong belief among us, thinking that if one attains Sotapanna or if one attains Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, even a Buddha, that they don't feel any kind of painful feelings. So we have that kind of wrong notion. So we think that if someone attains Arahanthood, so they are completely rid of even the bodily pain. So there are enough suttas available in Dhamma explaining that great arahants and even the Buddha have gone through various bodily difficulties, various bodily pains. So that is a kind of an interesting area to investigate, to see that the feeling has this suffering nature. So typically, as human beings, we are always going after happy feeling. pleasant feeling. We have some kind of inclination towards the happy feeling. But of course we need to understand, being a human being means we have to go through certain amount of suffering as well. Actually, during last Dhamma talk, we have given more emphasis towards the aniccato, that is the impermanent nature of the Vedana, that is the feeling. Today, more emphasis is given to the dukkhato, that is the suffering nature of the feeling. In a way, it is kind of an eye-opening to understand this human body will subject to various types of feelings. So we can't avoid that. For example, in one occasion, Venerable Mahakassapa, who is staying at one cave, kuti, called Pippali Guha, a cave called Pippali Guha. So at that time he was severely suffering, going through severe pain due to an affliction of some ailment. So at that time, Buddha visits there. And Buddha is asking, are you alright? Are you feeling comfortable? Are you getting well? So it's a kind of a typical, as we are asking from another person, another human being, another friend, Buddha asking the same type of questions. Are you alright? Are you getting well? Like that, the typical questions asked from the Venerable Mahakassapa. And Venerable Mahakassapa, interestingly, he is asking, no Bhante, I am feeling really difficult. I am feeling really painful, really fainted. The pain is increasing, my disease is increasing, getting aggravated. So then Buddha explains about the 7 Bojjhangas. So it is called as the Kassapa Bojjhanga, which comes in Bojjhanga Samyutta. You can check even and see for yourself. So there Buddha preaches 7 Bojjhangas, and while contemplating on those 7 Bojjhangas, Venerable Mahakassapa was able to cure his ailment, cure his disease, fully recover from his disease. Interestingly, Buddha himself was going through severe pain, severe disease, while he was at Rajagiri. You know, that is one part of the India called Rajagiri. Today it is called as Rajagiri. At that time, another arahant called Mahachunda, he visits Buddha. He doesn't actually ask from the Buddha whether, Bhante, are you feeling okay, or are you feeling well, or something like that. But Buddha immediately asks him, just please, Chunda, explains recites these 7 Bojjhangas. So then Venerable Mahachunda recites these 7 Bojjhangas. You know, Bojjhanga is the enlightenment factor, 7 enlightenment factors, some Dhamma related to 7 enlightenment factors. So when Venerable Mahachunda is reciting these information, reciting these Dhamma related to 7 enlightenment factors, then Buddha got recovered. So we need to understand, Buddha got recovered from a disease. And again, very interesting incident happened. As you may know, that Venerable Devadatta has thrown a boulder towards the Buddha while Buddha was going under Vulture's Peak. So, due to Buddha's power, another stone came up and the boulder was stopped. But what you call splinter. Okay, splinter broken up, and it has gone and hurt Buddha's leg. And we might think it may be a slight pain. But the sutta called Sakalika Sutta, if you like, you can refer it, you can check it. It comes in Sakalika Sutta. It is come in Samyutta Nikaya also. That also comes in Samyutta Nikaya, called Sakalika Sutta. The Sakalika, the Pali term, means the stone splinter. So there, it is not that the human beings, but even the gods felt that how Buddha is going through the severe pain. Okay, so 700 separate species of gods, we can say. They are called Satullapa Kayika Devata. It's a kind of a different species of Devata, godly beings. Okay. Godly beings. So they visited Buddha and they are keep admiring how Buddha is enduring this severe pain. It is so striking, so painful, so piercing. And Buddha is mindfully enduring it. And they are praising it like telling, oh, see, Samana Gautama is really like a lion. He has a lion nature that he is not shaken by even this severe pain. And one after another, these deities are praising the Buddha. So this all information what I have given you is to remove this kind of wrong notion that if we are thinking even the Buddha or an Arahant are completely rid of bodily pain, that is a wrong belief. So we need to understand they too are having bodies like ourselves. What is the difference then? So if they are also going through bodily pain, we are also going through the bodily pain, then what is the difference? That is interestingly discussed in a sutta called Dattabba Sutta. We can translate it as that is the way it should be seen. Dattabba means you should know like this. And again there's another sutta called Salla Sutta. All are coming in the Vedana Samyutta. Salla Sutta. Salla means a dart. So in the Salla Sutta, Buddha explains, so he himself raising the question, he's asking monks, okay, a typical human being going through painful bodily feelings. Even instructed noble disciple, typically the term Sutava Arya Savako, instructed noble disciple, he too going through severe pains, bodily pains. So then what is the difference? So then the monks are telling to the Buddha, Bhante, the Dhamma, understanding of the Dhamma is according to you. Please explain to us. So we'll hear and we'll memorize it. So then Buddha explains to them. Okay, now a typical human being, uninstructed worldly being, when a bodily pain is felt, so he is mentally adding another pain to it. For example, suppose a dart being pierced to one of the person's body. If another dart is coming and pierces the same place, what do you think? It will be so severe, so difficult, because it's already pierced, and another dart comes and pierces in the same place. It's already damaged, already painful, and you are putting another pain to it. And Buddha says, so these typical human beings, typical uninstructed beings who are not practicing, who are not well instructed according to the Buddha's teaching, so when a bodily painful feeling occurs, they are adding a mental painful feeling to it. So you are getting two feelings, two painful feelings. But on the other hand, an instructed noble disciple, it may be fairly advanced person, when he is going through painful feeling, bodily painful feeling, he understands, so this is the nature of the feeling. It is happened due to causes. And I have no control about this feeling. And he simply maintains some kind of gap, some kind of detachment towards this bodily pain, and he does not add mental pain to this bodily pain. So you need to understand, then there will be only one pain. Just one bodily pain, there is no added mental pain. So that is the difference. So even the Buddha has gone through enough bodily suffering, but he hasn't added any mental pain to it. Even the Arahants have gone through many bodily feelings, many bodily painful feelings, but they haven't added any mental pain to it, because they have well understood the feeling. So to give some theoretical information about the feeling, in the sutta called this Dattabba Sutta, where Buddha is explaining this is the way one needs to realize or one needs to understand about feeling. There are 3 types of feeling. Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukkhama Sukha Vedana. Sukha Vedana means pleasant feeling. Dukkha Vedana means painful feelings, unpleasant feelings. Adukkhama Sukha Vedana means neither pleasant nor unpleasant feelings. So these 3 types of feelings Buddha is explaining now. If you can remember, during our last Dhamma talk, Buddha explained in a different way. Actually, we have taken another sutta to explain a different approach given to the feeling. There Buddha is explaining that feelings are 6 types based on the dose. You know, when we see something, a feeling occurs in the eye. So it is called Chakku Sampassaja Vedana. Feeling occurred at eye. Feeling occurs at the eye. So when the sound impinges at ear, feeling occurs at the ear. When we are smelling something, then feeling occurs at the nose. When we are tasting something, feeling occurs at the tongue. When we are sensing something, then the feeling occurs in the body. And similarly, when we are thinking something, it can create a mental feeling as well. So based on these 6 faculties, so feeling is explained there. Now, fairly easy explanation here Buddha is giving. Irrespective of the place, feelings are of 3 types: either pleasant or unpleasant, or either neither pleasant or no unpleasant. So basically, so we simply can say Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana and Adukkhama Sukha Vedana. Sometimes we call equanimous to at a particular experience, so we feel simply equanimous. So these are the 3 types of Vedana, the feeling Buddha is explaining here. And sometimes what happens is, so when we are going through some pleasant feeling, typically our mind like to enjoy it further. We want to keep it longer. Suppose some pleasant bodily feeling is going through, so we like to keep it further because it is so pleasant. So we get attached to it. And suppose there is a painful bodily feeling going on, so there we want to get rid of as quickly as possible. We want to remove it. We want to get rid of as quickly as possible. Again, if there's a neutral feeling going on, we don't even aware of it. We don't know even that there's a neither pleasant nor unpleasant feeling is even there. We don't know. And therefore, typically what happened is, so when a pleasant feeling is going through, we are experiencing a pleasant feeling, we are so attached to it. So we are so grasping it. And therefore, the anusaya, what we call as the latent tendencies, which is accumulated in our mind, is further developed. What we call as raga anusaya. The latent tendency, more bias towards lust, is further developed. So we are encouraging lustful thoughts. We are encouraging attachment. We are encouraging this sort of greedy kind of feelings. So through that, we are encouraging the latent tendencies in ourselves. Similarly, if we are going through some kind of painful feelings, we are really bothered by it, we are so unhappy about it, we are adding more mental pain to it, and we want to get rid of as quickly as possible, and more we are resents of it. More and more we are rejecting it. So now we are adding some mental pain. So we are going through some mental pain, and therefore what we call as patighahanusaya. That means the latent tendency which is more biased towards the anger is developed. Similarly, if we don't know about that the body is now going through some kind of neutral feeling, if you are fully unaware of it, what we call as the ignorance is developed. So you can understand this feeling is so close to us as human beings. We always go through some kind of feelings, either pleasant or unpleasant, or neither pleasant nor unpleasant. So these three types of feelings are always available. So if we are blindly following one, then certain types of defilements are growing. If we are trying to get rid of it quickly as possible, if we are rejecting it vehemently, then another type of defilements are growing. So we need to understand this. So then what is the solution? So that is what we are trying to do in the Vedananupassana. That is what we are trying to do in the meditation. So giving a proper solution to this problem. Because as you can understand now, if you are simply blindly experiencing these feelings, we are encouraging our wrong attitudes, encouraging our latent tendencies. Till we have these latent tendencies, we will get rebirth. Again and again we will be reborn into the samsara. So you can't stop this rebirth. And more and more you have this rebirth, more and more you go through the rebirth, and more suffering you go through. So at least you need to understand, till we penetrate, till we find a solution to this problem, to this latent tendencies, there is no way out of samsara. So the only Buddha, in a way, has given a proper solution to get rid of this latent tendencies, what you call as anusaya. Because even the other beliefs give some kind of solution to the obsessive level of defilements. But only Buddha is giving a solution to the latent tendencies. Those are hidden, the hidden layer of the defilements. How to uproot those latent tendencies. So that is so interesting and so important. And ultimately, through the meditation, that is what we are trying to address. So what is the method? How to get rid of the defilements? How to get rid of the latent tendencies? And with the answer given by the Venerable Sariputta, if we are going towards the feeling side, to the Vedana side, so we can see an interesting answer given by Venerable Malunke Putta as an explanation towards the Buddha's advice. Buddha once advised one of the disciples called Malunke Putta. He's fairly an old monk, and giving some kind of kamatahan, some kind of meditation instruction. And Venerable Malunke Putta understood what Buddha said briefly, and he explains it descriptively to the Buddha to verify it. It is like, say, when a teacher briefly explains something to a student, and if teacher is doubtful whether the student, whether he understood it properly, he is telling to the student, okay, if you understood it, just explain to me how you understood it. Similarly, Buddha didn't actually invite Venerable Malunke Putta to explain it, but Venerable Malunke Putta was so happy about Buddha's answer, about the Buddha's instruction, meditation instruction, and he explains how he understood it, how he understood it. And there he says, when you see, say, a nice, interesting, beautiful form, beautiful rupa, beautiful form through your eye, it develops some kind of feeling. And as I explained, typically we attach to it. Here, Venerable Malunke Putta explains, as Buddha's instructed, instead of attaching, you are being mindful to that feeling. You are feeling it non-attached, You are maintaining some kind of distance to this feeling. So if I were to give the direct answer, or rather direct Sutta explains by Venerable Malunke Putta, naso rajyati rupesu rupang disva patissato. So when a form, a rupa is seen, the one who established himself in mindfulness, he is not rajyati. Rajyati means he is not defiled. Viratta chitto vedeti. He is undetached, he is felt. So he too is feeling these things. He too is felt the pleasant feeling now is happening because of the sight. But he is not attached to it. Quite detached, he is feeling it. Tancha najjosaya tittati. He is not going into the object. He is not going inside the object. He is not grasping the object. But he is quite detached. So this is the kind of balance that we have to develop through meditation. Yatasa passato rupang sevato chapi vedanam khiyatino pachiyati evam so charati sato. When a nice form, a pleasant form is seen, and due to that, when a pleasant feeling has arisen, so he is maintaining some kind of distance, and he is simply mindfully experiencing it without attaching to it. So similarly, he is explaining khiyati no pachiyati. That's also an interesting word there. So he, rather than carried by this pleasant feeling, he takes this as a meditation object. Now, as you know, in Vedananupassana, feeling is taken as a meditation object. So you are maintaining some kind of distance and you are simply watching the feeling as someone else's feeling. It's quite interesting. Because feeling actually occurs in the body. It may be a painful feeling, it may be a pleasant feeling. But you are able to maintain some kind of distance and you are simply watching it, how it is arising, how it is changing, what is the beginning, what is the middle, what is the end, how it is fading away, what are the different facets. So whether you have a control in it, whether you can wish to have a pleasant feeling, whether you can wish to have a painful feeling, whether you can wish whether to get rid of it as you like. So all these things he's now investigating. He's doing kind of a investigation of the feeling. So this is the approach that towards the feeling, a pleasant feeling, say for example, which is arisen due to a pleasant form that we have seen. The same approach is taken for the ear. So we are hearing a nice song, for example, very beautiful song. And it of course develops some kind of pleasant feeling in your mind or in your body because of this pleasant sound, maybe a beautiful song. And typically we get carried away by this song. We go to various stories, we are fantasizing. But the instructed disciple who is practicing, he is not developing this kind of stories after listening to this kind of thing, this kind of pleasant sound. Instead, he is objectively, as an object of meditation, he is looking at the arisen feeling, the pleasant feeling. He is not attached to the pleasant feeling, which has arisen due to this pleasant sound, interesting sound. And he is seeing how it is arising, how it is changing, how it is fading away, how it is ceasing. And now he is using the same pleasant feeling as a meditation object. Similarly, suppose you are feeling a very pleasant odor and you are getting a pleasant feeling because of that. And you are not getting carried away because of that pleasant odor. Instead, you are taking a step back and you are looking at it objectively. Looking at it as someone else's feeling. and you are observing it in quite detached manner, how it is changing, how it is arising, how it is passing away. So you are now taking it also as a pleasant, as a meditation object. Suppose you are eating a delicious food, so it caused, of course, to arise very pleasant feeling. Now this pleasant feeling has arisen because of this taste. But rather than become greedy, you are simply taking a step back. You are watching how the pleasant feeling is arising. Sometimes how your mind even gets some kind of greedy feelings, greedy thoughts to have something more. And you are able to maintain mindfulness. You are not carried away by the pleasant feeling. You are trying to watch it, and you are understanding. It is arising, it is changing, it is passing away. Similarly, suppose you are going through some pleasant sensations, bodily sensations. It too causes to produce some pleasant feelings. So these two pleasant feelings are objectively seen, not carried away by them, and you are not grasping them. You are maintaining some kind of distance, and you are watching them as someone else's. How they are arising, how they are changing, how they are passing away. Similarly, due to some kind of reason, suppose you are getting certain thoughts, and these certain thoughts are triggering some kind of feeling in the mind. It may be really pleasant feeling, it may be really painful feeling, but those were triggered by the thoughts. And here, those feelings you are taking as a meditation object. You are not carried away by those pleasant feelings, but objectively you are looking at those feelings. And you see how those are changing, how ungovernable those are. Actually, those feelings cannot arise if you are wishing to arise them, or if you want to arise them, if you want to make them arise. Say for example, suppose you like to have a pleasant bodily feeling. Only the necessary causes are satisfied, then only this pleasant bodily feeling will be arisen. So you understand, so this feeling is really causal. It is not independent. And again, if those causes were removed, either with your intervention or with your involvement, or even without your involvement, if any of the causes were removed, this arisen result, that is the pleasant bodily feeling, will go away. So you have no control. And very interestingly, it is explained that due to causes, actually what we call as contact is the cause for the feeling. Passa pacca vedana. Due to contact, the feeling is arising. It is not that someone is created the feeling, but when the appropriate contact is available, as a result, this feeling is arising. So, for example, when the appropriate conditions, appropriate contacts are available to arise a pleasant feeling will be the result. If the appropriate causes are there to create a painful feeling, the painful feeling will be arisen. If an appropriate causes, contacts are there to create or to cause, to result neither pleasant nor unpleasant, the neutral feeling, then the neutral feeling will arise. So you will understand this feeling is not independent. Feeling is arising due to causes. And even if you pay your attention to these causes, even that too will be another type of meditation. It may not be directly to the feeling, but you are trying to understand more say intellectually or more deeply, more wisely to the causes of the feeling, then you will understand this feeling is causal. This feeling has arisen due to causes. And these causes are also impermanent. These causes are also suffering. These causes are also changing. Then how the result will be permanent? Say for example, if the causes are impermanent, due to the impermanent causes, if a particular result is created, how the result will be permanent? Because the causes are impermanent. So you need, even if you can logically think about it, you can understand since the causes are really impermanent, suffering, non-self, the created results too has to be impermanent, unavoidable. So you have no control. That we can even logically understand. Rationally we can understand. So we can see that the Buddha's teaching, in a way we can rationally understand, but unless we practice, we can't experience how true it is. And how we experientially understand it is through the vipassana, is through the meditation. And for example, I will give a kind of a simile to further explain it. Now, actually it is again from the Dhamma. And you can understand that if two dry sticks are rubbed each other, say you continue to rub each other, dry stick, two sticks, it causes to create some amount of heat. What happens if we stop rubbing? What happens if we keep it away? The created heat will dissipate. Okay, similarly, this contact are the causes, like the two dry sticks. And these two dry sticks like coming together, these contacts are happening. Like the generated heat, the feeling is arising. If you remove the contact, if you remove the two sticks, the generated heat will dissipate. Similarly, if you remove the contact, the generated feeling will go away. So we need to understand, so this feeling is really causal. It is a dependent arisen. And therefore, if you watch it mindfully, with a detached manner, without expecting to get rid of the feeling, seeing it as objectively, seeing it like someone else's feeling, you are able to observe, that you are able to understand it is due to causes that is arising, and it is changing without your control, and it fades away, it ceases without your control. And it has that causal nature. And again, when the causes are satisfied, again another feeling arises, that too will change, that too will pass away. So you can understand, so this feeling, if someone mindfully, in a detached manner, with some amount of patiently, you are observing it, you are able to catch this point, you are able to observe this nature of the feeling. So that is what actually I want to explain today. And this whole practice is explained in various ways in the Buddha's teaching. Say for example in Vedananupassana, which is coming in the Satipatthana Sutta. So it is quite interestingly explained. So when a pleasant feeling arising, so you see how it is arising, and how you see how it is fading away. When an unpleasant feeling arising, you experience how it is arising and how it is fading away, passing away. When a neither pleasant nor unpleasant feeling is arising, you are experiencing how it is arising, how it is passing away. And that is in the, say, Satipatthana Sutta. Similarly, suppose your main meditation object is Anapanasati. Even in the Anapanasati, in-breath and out-breath meditation, even there Buddha explains how you are going through this Vedananupassana. So even related to the in-breath and out-breath meditation, there are some subtle sensations that you might feel. That you may feel that your body is so happy. You are feeling like floating. You are going through some bodily pleasant feeling. So all those are related to the observing of the feeling. So therefore, at various places, this feeling aspect is well explained by the Buddha and even by his Arahant disciples. So I think we can understand this feeling is not ourselves. This feeling have very less control to ourselves. So if we want to create more and more feelings, if we keep on trying to create more and more feelings, so we'll be sort of exhausted by the feeling. Instead, if we are simply maintaining some kind of detachment towards the feeling, we can observe, we can quite detached manner, we can observe what is really happening to the feeling, so that we can get a really good insight towards this feeling, so that through the feeling we are getting a deeper understanding about the Dhamma. So with that comment, I would like to conclude today's Dhamma talk. I hope that you will understand, even by watching this feeling in an objective manner, like someone else's, that you can get a deeper knowledge, and it is well explained in the Dhamma, and that is another aspect of the Vipassana meditation. With that concluding remark, I like to sum up this Dhamma talk, and I wish that you too may one day able to observe this feeling with very good established mindfulness, and be able to understand Dhamma through observing the feeling. Thanks for listening to Dhamma talk. So there's a small sharing of merits, or sort of thanksgiving that we need to do for the people who actually gave us dana today. That is Mallika Jayaratna, who actually participated in the arranging dana for all the yogis. So to remark his passed away father, Nimal Jayaratna. And similarly, typically as a tradition, at the end of the Dhamma talk, we share all the merits throughout the day, that we all practice Dhamma, develop meditation, as far as possible. Honestly, we protected Sila, so we all have accumulated a lot of merit. So we share all these merits with all the passed away relatives, and again all the gods, seen and unseen, all the beings who are in need of merit. So with some metta in your mind, may we all recite the traditional stanzas, and that is to share these merits. And if someone is not familiar to these verses, please just listen attentively. May all the others recite with me. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu sasanang. Akasattha cha bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasattha cha bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mamparang. Idang vo nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo ඉදං වෝ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං වෝ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා සාදු සාදු සාදු